Microsoft pulling out the big guns, and the daily gaming news recap. All that and more coming right up. Whew, that's a lot of money. Welcome back to Sodi Pop right here on YouTube. Today is Monday, September 21st. I'm Matty, and this is Chatty With Matty, your source for the daily gaming news recap. We have a ton to talk about. As always, things are just heating up like crazy. Of course, all the stories are linked down below. If you're looking for something specific, go ahead and check it out. Without further ado, have my drink, let's chat. So to begin with, we have Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S launch date, and we're pretty much going to be focusing on Microsoft today with a few smaller stories for Nintendo and Sony. So number one, if you want your pre-order for the X and or S, well, that starts tomorrow, September 22nd on a Tuesday. Here are the dates and times you need to know. If you're in the US, 8 a.m. Pacific time. Canada, 8 a.m. Pacific time. UK, 8 a.m. BST. If I knew what BST stood for, I would say it. UK or Australia, 8 a.m. AEST. And then New Zealand, 8 a.m. NZST. And of course, those are going on live. Microsoft Store, Amazon, Best Buy, GameStop, Walmart, Target, Sam's Club, Newegg, and other participating retailers. So pretty much all of them. And Microsoft has said it will be punishing those that launch earlier with lower allocations. So hopefully this goes very smoothly, much better than Sony's. And we do have some more news on Sony's later. The big news for today, not quite yet, because I have a slight downer with a huge upper. So if you're looking forward to Fable, remember that was teased in the Microsoft Series X play. Well, right here, Anna Miguel on Twitter, I noticed yesterday, wrote, Game Writers, Playground Games is looking for a senior scriptwriter for Fable. Applicants may have experience in games, TV, film, theater, comics, or related media. So pretty much anything. If you're a scriptwriter, go ahead and apply. Even if you've only written a few things, maybe you can be a lower end scriptwriter and get some experience. It's really cool. What this says to me is Fable is a long ways off. This is what we've seen with a lot of Microsoft games lately, is that some of the big stuff is a long ways off. Of course, we had Halo coming, which is super exciting, and again that got pushed back to 2021, and hopefully that can be a phenomenal game. Well, so with that being said, we've seen that Microsoft has had a lack of first-party games coming out recently. That's not necessarily changed, but what they lack in first-party games, they make up in acquisitions. Yes, Microsoft to buy Bethesda for $7.5 billion with a B to boost Xbox. That is insane. Just to put that in perspective, look up Wikipedia. Tencent, the biggest game sale ever in 2016, bought Supercell for $8.6 billion. So Microsoft will come in second with the ZeniMax Media purchase at $7.5. That gives it almost doubles the in-house studio it has, I think from 15 to 23. We'll cover that later. What does this mean for you? What does this mean for the general consumer? Well, number one, nothing in the immediate term. If you have Game Pass, could mean good news, and then what down the line. So we'll discuss all that. We're going to go through a few things. So this is coming from Bloomberg to start with, Jason Schreier and Dina Bass. Microsoft Corporation said Monday today it plans to acquire ZeniMax Media Incorporated, owner of the storied video game publisher Bethesda Softworks, for $7.5 billion in cash, marking it the biggest video game purchase ever. And again, I am speculative because we did see, maybe that's in the US, but we did see that Tencent purchased Supercell for $8.6. So keep that in mind in 2017 or 2016. Quote, with the acquisition of Bethesda, we metaphorically and literally double our gaming content capacity, said Microsoft Chief Executive Officer Satya Nadella in an interview. Recently, however, Bethesda has been working on tightly with Sony. So if you're wondering what are the current deals with Sony, how's that going to work? Well, here it is. Lay your mind at ease. Bethesda has previously agreed to debut two of its upcoming games, Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo, on Sony's new PlayStation rather than Xbox. Both games are announced as time console exclusives, meaning that they will be restricted to the PS5 for the fixed period of time before coming to Xbox. Microsoft will keep that commitment, Spencer said in an interview. future games like Starfield will be available for Xbox PC and Microsoft Game Pass X video game service. Will take on other consoles case-by-case basis, Spencer said. Nadella said Microsoft may consider releasing games on other platforms in the future. We think about strategy, whether it's in gaming or any other part of Microsoft. Each layer has to stand on its own from what it brings. When we talk about other content, we want our content to be broadly available. So again, this purchase doesn't mean everything's going to be exclusive to Xbox. Obviously, they're bringing out on Xbox and PC. Again, the previous deals with Sony are going to stay in place. I'm sure you can't break those contracts as well. So this means that Game Pass is going to have a huge win. New games like Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6 will most likely be coming to Day Pass game once, since it is a in-house developer. Day one is what I meant to say. Let's read a little bit more and then we're going to talk about everything kind of all together, what it means for the greater gaming landscape, what it means for Microsoft, what it means for Sony and Nintendo, if it means anything. So coming from The Verge, we have another write-up here by Nick. Is it Nick Staff or Nick Stat? A little bit lower. I'm going to look at a few quotes here. So Spencer made sure to mention that Game Pass in the company's announcement post this morning, just as they took the bold first steps to bring the Elder Scrolls franchise to the original Xbox. Bethesda and early supporters of Xbox Game Pass bringing their games to new audiences across devices has been actively investing in new gaming technology like cloud streaming of games, Spencer wrote. We will be adding Bethesda iconic franchises to Xbox Game Pass for console and PC, and also seen in the official Bethesda.net announcement. So why the change? It's coming from Bethesda. Because it allows us to make even better games going forward. Microsoft is an incredible partner and offers access to resources that will make us better publishers and developers. We believe this means better games for you to play. Simply put, we believe the change is an important part of getting better. We believe that pushing ourselves to be better, to innovate, to grow. It doesn't really say anything. They get more money to have more freedom, I'm sure. It's a great deal for them. And then also, Microsoft will grow from 15 to 23 creative studios, teams that will be adding Bethesda iconic franchises to Xbox Game Pass. This includes Microsoft's intent to bring Bethesda's future games into Xbox Game Pass the same day they launch on the Xbox or PC, like Starfield, the highly anticipated new space epic currently in development by the Bethesda Game Studios. So again, it's gonna be a long way off still for Starfield. Let's talk about exactly what this means for the gaming industry, what this means for Xbox. So for today, as far as like the next few weeks, number one, they made this news right before, yes, the pre-release, the pre-purchase of the console. Great timing for the news, super hyped. Bethesda, all the studios are really good developers. Of course, they've had some misses. Fallout 76, for example. People really didn't enjoy that game. They've not been perfect for their track record, but they are a big, really good developer. So great timing for the announcement. Now, let's say you made this announcement a month ago, 2 weeks ago. I think a lot of people would start to realize that a lot of big new Bethesda games are a couple years, 3 years, 4 years off. So a lot of what we hopefully get from Bethesda, some of the bigger AAA first-party games, are not going to come out for a while. Starfield, and then Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be even after then. So Starfield, 2-3 years out at least, and then Elder Scrolls, another 3 or 4 years after that. So keep that in mind. Some of the bigger games may not come out in the more immediate term, and I think the biggest thing to me personally is Game Pass. Game Pass is getting all these phenomenal games, Skyrim included. I'm sure Deathloop will be joining it once exclusivity deal is over. You know, you're going to be getting all these amazing games for one low monthly price on the PC or Xbox. And again, this just makes the Game Pass that much better. It doesn't sell me on Xbox Series X or Xbox Series S. I think that's a decision when it comes time to upgrade your PC. Do you want to go with those new RTX 30 series cards, or are you going to go with a Series X, kind of the all-in-one bundle, and then get Game Pass? Because it's silly not to have Game Pass on either of them. and maybe Game Pass will extend to Nintendo, will extend us to PlayStation 5 years in the future. If Microsoft sees that that's where its future lies, in this kind of Netflix of gaming, this just emboldens Game Pass. Again, they went from 15 to 23 developers, so they added quite a few developers, not quite doubled as we saw before. That's a little bit of a mistake as far as the numbers, but they added a lot of new development teams under their own house. I'm curious to see what this means for the big AAAs that they make. Will they be as quality and as good? I really want them in their next coming AAAs to upgrade their engine. Their engines have always been buggy. All the Fallout and Skyrim have always been really kind of weird and janky. Hopefully, because they're big games, I understand that. So hopefully we see them rework their engine and make them even better. But don't mistake my tempered enthusiasm for this not being big news. This is huge news, amazing, really good for Microsoft going forward into the future, years from now. For right now, Game Pass benefits enormously. I have Game Pass on PC, really enjoy it. So let's keep on reading. That kind of wraps up the main news for Microsoft right now. It's coming from Imran Khan, formerly of Kind of Funny, or of Kind of Funny right now. Sony has been negotiating time exclusivity on Starfield as recently as a few months ago. Going to guess either those talks are done or the price suddenly went way up. And then coming from Obsidian Twitter, someone tweeted at them, Obsidian, so Fallout New Vegas 2 is a legit possibility right now. Yeah, very possible is coming from a poster on Reddit originally that I saw. So very interesting. Obsidian and the Fallout developers, Bethesda, now back together again. You know, their big first party AAA kind of more, I'd say, Western based developers instead of more like the Japanese kind of JRPG types. So they have a lot of kind of Western RPG. Again, I think we're missing like the CD Projekt Reds. With Cyberpunk, that's another Western style RPG. So if they bought them, man, they'll just have all the Western RPGs. But still, amazing news. And if you haven't yet, please like, follow, subscribe, comment down below. Every little bit, liking, commenting, just helps me get out to more and more people. Again, if you have any friends that are interested in this content, interested in my view on the gaming space, please let me know. I'd love to have them in the fold, and I love talking with you down in the comments. If you want me to cover any specific piece of news, let me know. I pretty much peruse through all the news, and sometimes I choose not to cover one thing or the other because I want to make this a more focused experience for you. I've even thought about breaking out some of the bigger stuff into a single video, so it's a little bit shorter, but that's why I do put everything in the comments down below. I put everything down below so you can space out exactly what you want to see each and every episode. All right, well, without further ado, let's move on to the rest of the news. So a few things leaked. Number one, Mass Effect Trilogy. This has been kind of an open secret that we've been seeing leaked again. Looks like from another retailer, actually two retailers. Mass Effect Trilogy. What I want from this is a remake of at least the first game to give the gameplay of Mass Effect 2 or 3. Because remember, the first game, if you played the Mass Effect Trilogy, was a totally different, more RPG playstyle. It had a whole bunch of different brands of weapons and stuff. It felt way different. The shooting they perfected in 2 and 3 felt a lot better in 2 and 3. Then I heard Andromeda was actually pretty good from the gameplay perspective. I did miss Andromeda. Of course, there's a lot of jankiness and then a lot of weird stuff with the story. So I did miss that game, but I hope they remake the first one. That would be really cool with the gameplay of 2 and 3, because I think the first one probably had the best story with everything that happened in it. I actually read the Mass Effect novels around it, so definitely go and be excited for that. In Nintendo news, if you got your Super Mario 3D All-Stars, which I did, I've been playing it. If you saw my Twitter post, I've been playing it with the Power A GameCube wireless controller, and right now I'm playing Super Mario Sunshine. I've never played it before. It's actually really good. It's a lot of fun, so go ahead and check that out. But don't miss out on the Super Mario Bros collectible pin set. You can get these 5 pins ranging from all these different Super Mario Bros games: 1, 2, 3, Super Mario World, and Super Mario 64. If you bought 3D All-Stars, that's the only purchase you need to make. and then you can go in and do all these little other tasks, and then you get this pin set for free. So pretty cool. So go ahead and check that out if you did. And if you're down on PlayStation, because it seems like PlayStation and Xbox are really in direct competition, don't be. There's a lot of first-party games coming out, and then you might also be down because you didn't get a pre-order. Again, don't be. I got a pre-order later from Best Buy. Again, it was really late at night, the night that everything was surprise released. They messed up for sure, or retailers messed up. Someone messed up, but they definitely could have handled it better. So this coming from PlayStation Twitter, let's be honest, PS5 pre-orders could have been a lot smoother. We truly apologize for that. Over the next few days, we will release more PS5 consoles for pre-order. Retailers will share more details, and more PS5s will be available through the end of the year. Remember, they upped their order from 4.5 million to 9 million at launch. This, in the PS4 launch cycle, they had like 3 million. So keep in mind, they have a lot of PS5s to go around. They'll probably still sell out with everything going on in the world. People are still staying home. So, keep an eye out for it. I know that Walmart on the 22nd, so tomorrow on Tuesday, will be opening more pre-orders. So just keep an eye out. Don't pay eBay prices quite yet, unless you're truly desperate, but please don't. Just keep on looking for these. Keep on logging to retailer. If you have a phone, just keep on refreshing the page. I'm sure you'll get it. So pretty excited. I'm excited. I got a pre-order for mine, so I'm really excited. And then lastly, again, don't be down on PlayStation, because we've heard this tons of time. This coming from an interview with Richard Ledbetter from Digital Foundry. I found this on Resetera from Broken Wifey. Let's go ahead and read what he says. So Richard Ledbetter, every single developer I've spoken to developing for PS5 has been evangelizing how easy it is to work for. It's essentially the same development environment as the PS4, and you scale up from there. So for new powers, these features and whatnot, I can't stress enough how happy devs seem to find with this situation. There's simply no doubt that the Xbox Series X on paper is a more powerful machine. However, again, speaking to devs, the development environment that they are dealing with, some people seem to be extremely happy with it. Other people are having problems with it because they've moved away from what they've previously known on the XDK, which was specific for the Xbox, to the GDK, which is more general environment for the PC and for Xbox, and even Xbox One is encompassed by GDK. So you're seeing a development environment change from Xbox Series X to the Xbox One, and then PS4 to PS5 pretty much staying the same. We've seen this over and over again with PlayStation. Jeff Grubb said this about all the developers he knows. Jason Schreier, these are both big trusted names in the industry for reporters, and we've seen that it is a joy apparently to develop for the PS5 and pretty easy for developers. That is awesome. Again, we've not seen necessarily negative things about Xbox Series X. I just haven't seen a ton to support it. The one thing I will note is that Aesthetic Gamer, remember, that was the person who did say he was an industry insider specifically for Capcom. He said that the Capcom team was having issues with running RE8 at 4K on PlayStation 5. Remember, I did a whole episode about how he maybe made that up. He was saying that to even the scores. We don't know. That is the only thing that I've heard negative about developing for the PS5. And again, there's big questions as whether he made it up. He apparently got banned on Resetera or NeoGAF for a little bit. So take that with a grain of salt. That could still be true, absolutely. But I've heard way more good things from very trusted sources about developing for the PS5. Again, PS5 still has a lot going for it, a lot of really good first parties. Keep that in mind. I mean, this is great. Like, this is so great for gaming that Xbox is heating it up. I mean, PS5 is probably going to have to, or PlayStation in general, they might have to start sweetening the deal with the PlayStation Plus. They already have. They're adding in a whole bunch of good PS4 games, but maybe they start, because remember, they have their own streaming service, the PlayStation Now, which has been running for a long time, and I know that people that really enjoy it, but they haven't really been pushing it. So maybe they'll make that service even better, and it'll become more of a competitor to Game Pass, or at least xCloud, if it runs really well and it has the whole library of thousands of PlayStation games, or at least several hundred of the PS3 to PS1. Oh my gosh. this is just a really exciting time to be a gamer, I'll be honest. So I'm super pumped. Well, guys, that about does it. Let me know what you think about Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, all this great stuff that has come out. Are you enjoying the new Super Mario games? Have you played, was it Hellblade or that Hades? There we go, the Super Giant game Hades. And what you think about the Xbox news down below. There's a ton to discuss. My voice is going hoarse from talking about this all day. All right, well, I hope you have a phenomenal day. Remember, follow me on the 3Ts and IG, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, and Instagram at Sodi Pop Media. I'm Maddie. Have a phenomenal day. Remember,
be yourself
and eat a cookie. Bye.